Hey Internet, Jesse at Ish Guitars here with Jay Locke, and whatever this thing
what is this? What is this?
This is a crazy idea that came out of my brain many years ago now. This build actually started in 2018, so about three and a half years ago.
Worth the wait, it looks like it.
Totally worth the wait. So, where did this come from? So my idea originally was actually crazier than this. My original idea is that the guitar was going to be the build goal was a guitar that was a piece of sculpture that showed off the carve of the top of a Paul Reed Smith, which is really the very intricate part of it, right? This carve back in the day was all done by hand with chisels. Right now they use CNC machines and stuff that are much more precise and consistent, but back in the day, so when Paul designed this body, I mean, this was like nobody had.
It was new. It was a new
yeah,
age.
I mean, obviously Les Pauls had a arch top and stuff like that, but I mean, really deep carve. And then they had these divots here that were carved out for the knobs, that inlaid knobs and stuff was really interesting. So I'm looking at that one day, I'm thinking, man, that is literally a piece of art. So I thought, why don't I make a guitar that looks like a piece of art? Your typical white art thing looks like it should be in MoMA or something. Cool. So I wanted to make it a little weirder because I'm weird. I was going to have the whole guitar be painted in glowing paint. And then the fretboard was going to actually have inlays in it that were the color of glowing paint, but not glowing. So that when the guitar was glowing, the inlays would be black. So you wouldn't see the inlays normally, but then when the guitar was glowing, you wouldn't. Crazy idea, I know. So we tried for years to try and get the right glow paint and to be able to make this fretboard, and it was a mess. And Paul Miles hated me. It still hates me to this day, probably. And then finally, we just said, screw it. Let's throw out the craziness and let's just make it white. So we did. But we couldn't stop with just white, so we filled it full of gold.
I mean, of course. That's a 1-2 punch combo right there.
I know. How could I resist? So these are actually 10 karat gold inlays. All the birds are outline birds, 10 karat gold. 10 karat's a little harder, a little different coloring, which is why I used it. These are gold frets, actually, in here too, even including gold Optima strings. So those have gold coating on them. I mean, this is like actual real gold.
Gold, yeah.
Crazy all over the place. Even the side dots here are inlaid in 10 karat gold to match. The bird on the headstock is 10 karat gold.
What about
pretty cool stuff? That is not 10 karat gold.
How dare we?
What the heck was that?
That was my pick.
Oh. So yes, sorry.
It's wild. It's beautiful.
It came out absolutely gorgeous. Really, just truly the essence of the PRS body and soul. Now, it looks great. I want it to sound great also too. So, one of my other goals with this build was to build the lightest guitar that PRS had ever made.
Yeah, you did it.
Which we accomplished.
You did it.
This guitar weighs 3.9 pounds.
It's weird because as a guitar, when you pick it up, it almost feels like it weighs nothing.
Yeah, it's almost like you almost like jolt when you pick it up because it's like you expect.
Strange.
Even now, I've picked it up a bunch of times. I can't get used to it.
Yeah.
It's lighter than most acoustics are. Even it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. So the way I did this is actually a fully hollow body, but with no F holes. There's no pickups, no electronics. That's a lot of weight. Also, the top is made out of spruce, actually. So, A, to sound more acousticy, or arch-toppy.
Yep.
But B, spruce is a very light wood. And then I had the private stock team help pick all light woods for the rest of the guitar. So, just a mahogany body, mahogany neck, and a rosewood board, East Indian rosewood board, but just had them pick the lightest pieces possible. I think that we could go even lighter than this if we really wanted to, if we used like an Obici body and neck and stuff like that.
Just no weight.
But I wanted to also make sure the guitar sounded really good. And mahogany and spruce, we know,
it works. It works.
Is a ideal sound. So I didn't want to get too. This was kind of an experiment in the first place. We haven't done anything like this before. So I wanted to make sure the experiment worked, and then now I already have some more builds in progress that are going to try and tone shape a little bit using the tone woods. Controls, yes, there are none.
Zero.
And that's that. You plug it in and you unplug it, and that's that. So sorry if you want controls. And besides that, Yeah, it's just...
It's an art piece.
It's
a functional art piece.
It is one of the best sounding art pieces
Yeah.
I have ever heard, which is why I will now hand it over to our master, Jay Locke.
Oh, let's not throw that term around too much.
Now, we're not even going to play this through an electric amp. You totally could. It sounds pretty cool. We're going to put it through our nice Gensler acoustic array and show you what it's like.
That's nice.
Sounds real good.
That's real nice. And obviously, the beautiful thing is you can still play up high, and it doesn't feel like you're playing an acoustic if you're playing.
It sounds crazy, crazy good.
It's so fun to play.
Yeah, when this came out of the box, I think we lost one full day of work here.
Mm-hmm. The whole crew was done.
It's a glorious guitar, playing, sounding, the whole thing, just the whole feel. It plays super nice. It really nails it. I'm very, very, very happy with how this build came out.
Yeah, this was a beautiful surprise right here.
Yeah, it's a unique one for sure. That's our boy, Tasty J over here.
That's why we're here.
Oh, so tasty. One thing I will also mention about this guitar, very interesting, that spruce top gives it a really nice, bright, I mean, it sounds...
Yeah, it just resonates, it plays.
It definitely is a very bright guitar. I think you could almost roll off a little bit of treble, depending on what amp you're using, or speakers, this or that. But it makes it so the guitar is very nice and bright, and then you can dial it back with your amp control.
It does feel very responsive.
Yeah, it's not like anything else you really need. You can just kind of pull back on maybe necessarily places that you want a little bit of roll off or whatever.
Yeah. I know for us, we're literally at noon on everything, and we just plugged in the Gensler, so we didn't touch any EQ.
That good. So. Paul Reed Smith, I know for a fact, actually really liked it. Also, he usually hates all my stuff because they're too weird. Just kidding. Not really. But Paul Miles said that when he played it. Yeah, I tried to be right on the edge. But Paul Reed Smith actually plays every private stock that comes out of the private stock shop. Yeah. And so he played this, and apparently there was rave reviews from Paul Smith. So, Paul, if you're watching this,
thank you.
Thanks for playing. It's $13,500. Also, Paul Miles, the private stock director, jokes that the divots look like a hard-boiled egg, which, once you see it, you cannot unsee. And so, on that terrible disappointment, that's all we have. Leave us some comments below. Let us know what you think about it, and we'll see you guys soon.